Hi, I'm Mary Montgomery, the Will County Continuum of Care's Executive Director. The Will County Continuum of Care is a collaborative effort in Will, Kendall, and Grundy counties dedicated to ending homelessness. As the bitter cold hits our communities and the night is at its longest, our neighbors experiencing homelessness become more vulnerable. Homelessness is a dangerous, life-threatening condition. The National Healthcare Council for Homelessness shares that simply being without homes is a dangerous medical condition. While healthcare providers can do all they can to mitigate the impacts and the effects of the streets, without housing, there is no medical treatment that will stand. Nothing can be a substitute for stable housing. People who are homeless have higher rates of illness, and they die on average 12 years sooner. People in our communities will die this year without a home. While we must try to prevent the loss of every life, we must also recognize the reality of the conditions of individuals experiencing homelessness now. Nationally, December 21st, the first day of the winter, the longest night of the year, is recognized as the National Homeless Persons Memorial Day. All of us have felt the impacts of the loss of our neighbors to homelessness. Today, we'll share about people, some specific special lives that we've lost, and we hope to remember them by dedicating 2024 and on to ending homelessness, so that we make a community that all of our neighbors have a home. Thank you.
I'm Jack Piccolo. I'm a street advocate and service officer, a Vietnam veteran. I'm here talking in memory of Glenn, an Army veteran sergeant who died in 2021 under the Cass Street Bridge. He was 74 years old, well known on the street as the bicycle repairman. I met him at Chicken and Spice many times, spent hours talking about him and his Army career. He had a family in Chicago and a couple of sons which had no contact with him. He died alone, but I want to stress he was homeless, but he was a person. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alex Shapiro with the Coalition for the Homeless. And I have been working in and around Joliet, Will County, Grundy County, Kendall County for a few years now, and what's always struck me is that even coming out of the pandemic, as conditions have gotten a lot worse for folks experiencing housing instability, the communities here remain strong and folks take care of each other. If you don't have experience in the houseless community, please know that there are entire beautiful communities of people supporting each other through the worst times of their lives, living right next to you, and you can do something about that. We lose a lot of people every year, unfortunately, and we want to remember all of them. I'm thinking of a few people I knew personally in my head right now, and it's unfair for somebody to pass before they know what it means to have stability. And so I hope that you can keep these folks in your memory. I will through the holiday season as well, and when you run into somebody who is in some trouble, please try to show them love and compassion.
Hello, my name is Dwana Williams, and I am a case manager. I assist people that are homeless with getting housing, and then I work with those clients while they're in our program, just helping them get back on their feet. And I wanted to talk briefly about two clients that I had since my time where I'm at that unfortunately passed away while they were in our housing program. Raymond, he was just such a devoted father, loved his kids dearly. He was just a kind man, would give you the clothes off his back, always put others before himself, and it was always a pleasure and a joy when he would come into the office and talk about his family, his kids, and he was just a great father. He loved his kids loved him, and it was a great loss when he passed away, and just being who he was and what he meant to his kids. The next person I want to talk about is Catherine. Catherine was a single woman. She unfortunately passed away for cancer, but she fought a long battle. And every time she came to the office, she was always so humble and just so grateful. You know, you wouldn't have known what she was going through just by how she carried herself. And she always had a smile on her face. She always had an encouraging word for me, even though she was going through what she was going through. And I really deeply miss both of them. And I always held them close to my heart, really cared about them, and I'm sad that they're gone.
My name is Christina M. Homelessness is important to end because people that are homeless are humans, and they deserve a second chance. I am currently housed, but I was out there homeless myself for 4.5 years. The hardest part of being homeless is dealing with the cold, dealing with the struggles of not eating, trying to find shelter. Also, the people that passed away from homelessness have died because they were homeless, or I have experienced being pregnant, being homeless, trying to find food for my child and me was the hardest part, and finding shelter. So the day that I got my keys to my house, it was a wonderful experience. It's nothing like your own. It's a little easier being housed, but there's struggles in it too. Being housed is a wonderful thing. Hopefully praying that everybody that's homeless now, they get housed so they can live a good life and not pass away.
Hi, I'm Rose. I'm one of the homeless out here. I've been out here for 16 years. I've got to know a lot of very good people, and Sean is my street dad, more of a father to me than my own father. He passed away at his home. He had just gotten housed, had a heart attack. Very good man. And my little brother Hop, like my little best friend, but it's sad that he's gone. And then Montana, who was my fiance when I went to prison, he passed away. There's a lot of very good people out here on these streets and that need help.
I'm Sean. I'm from the Will Grundy Medical Clinic, and often housing is the prescription. Housing is healthcare. And when individuals don't have housing, it impacts their health and it impacts the entire community. A story that had a pretty profound impact on Will Grundy and our services is one of our clients who we worked really hard to provide wraparound services and case management and care coordination to get him living indoors. And we worked really hard, and he really was a success story. He got a really beautiful apartment. He had a patio on the apartment, and he had flowers on his patio, and he was so proud. He took pictures of his flowers, and he texted those pictures to his nurse case manager and said, "Look, I have a garden." The very sad thing is that 30 days after he took that picture, he died, because after being on the street for more than 2 decades, his health was in such poor shape that he could not last, more than 30 days once he was housed. And we lost him, we lost his potential, we lost his contributions to the community. But the thing is, that happens over and over again. And some people never get the chance to take pictures of their flowers on the patio. Some individuals never get the chance to come indoors. And so you got to think about what we're losing when we lose these individuals and lose their talents, and they don't get the chance to live up to their full potential. So housing is healthcare, and housing is often the prescription.
Hi, my name is Richard Woodhall. I am the Will County Continuum of Care's Leadership Committee Chair. Homeless Persons Memorial Day is very important. When a person experiencing homelessness, their life is literally shortened. Men live to be 56 years old, women live to be 52. And Homeless Persons Memorial Day is giving us the opportunity to reflect on the priorities of the community, to be reminded that each person in our community has a lot to give, and that we can all make this a better place to live. I want to share a story with you. Housing First is an idea that housing is the key to ending homelessness. When our community commits to this, it changes everything. All of a sudden, the people who needed the help the most got it, offered the help they needed. I was once one of those people, but more importantly, I was someone who advocated for people who are experiencing homelessness to trust and help would be there for them. My friend Drake was the first person I talked to about housing, and I walked him to his intake meeting with him together. The day he found his place, he cried with joy. I had never seen emotions in his face before. Housing matters. Drake was an amazing person. I was grateful to have known him. We lost Drake after he was housed. It was a bittersweet knowing that he did not die on the streets. There were many times that he could have. His life was shortened because of the impact of homelessness. His body, his inability to access and receive health care while he was without housing. Drake mattered. To wake up homelessness is like stepping out of a dream and realize you are in hell. There is no certainty to your day. You don't know where your food is coming from. You don't know if you are where you're going to sleep. You don't know if someone is going to beat you up or mess with your animals. No person should live each moment with this constant uncertainty. During this time of year, the nights are longer and colder. Homelessness is dangerous to humans' life. A lot of things are misunderstood about the homeless. Not all homeless are drug addicts or drunks. A lot of them are actually work and are decent, civilized people. Some of us are there due to our own devices, but mostly things have been out of control. Family loss, lack of support, no financings, and then the bottom falls out. To be clear, homeless sucks. It is harder to do anything when you are in the streets. It is harder to stay physically clean, to sleep on a cold day. It is hard to wake up into the bitter temperatures. People need access to food, housing, wellness treatment, because people are dying in these streets. They become ill, they get sicker, they even freeze to death. A loss of a life because of homelessness is significant and impactful. It makes me feel angry, sad. They are my family. Out there, we build families, we share common struggles, we support one another, we protect one another, we help each other find a sense of self, of worth. It is simple, but it is hard to describe. Losing any life to homelessness is not okay. It makes me feel powerless, but there is something we can do. To wake up housed after 15 years of homelessness was shocking. It was something I was not used to. The housing took a lot of pressure off a person. A weight of worry came off their shoulders. There are some very bad people out there who don't care about whether they hurt a homeless person. At home, you are safe, and once you feel safe, you can do anything. You are not in survival mode anymore. Anything is possible. Just look at me. Stand here with you as any advocate for change, as someone who knows that housing is the answer to homelessness. Firsthand, I want to remember the lives that have been lost. We as a community failed them, and we as a community must remember them. Thank you.
It takes all of us to end homelessness. If you want to get involved, please reach out to us at the Will County Continuum of Care. Our website is willcountycoc.com.